Little Kiwi and the Treaty by Nikki Slade Robinson. The little Kiwi and cousins were talking to their koro, Grandad. "How come you say you're from up the coast, and Kuia, Grandma, say she's from over the mountains?" asked the little Kiwi. "E moko, that's a special story from many moons ago," smiled Koro. "Whakarongo mai, listen. Long, long ago, all my tipuna, my ancestors, lived far up the coast. They were the best food finders in the land. All your Kuia's tipuna lived far over the mountains. They were the best nest builders in the land. The two groups had never met. One day, my tipuna decided to explore further than they'd ever been before. Their numbers had grown, so they went in search of more food. They set off in the morning, following the sun. It was a long journey. My tipuna found this place, right where we are sitting. There was plenty of kai. They decided to stay here. Many years later, your Kuia's tipuna also decided to travel far, in search of more space for building nests. Their numbers had grown too. They set off in the evening, following the stars. It too was a long journey. Your Kuia's tipuna also came to this place. It was a good place for building nests. They wanted to stay here too. Oh, where? My tipuna were surprised. Who were these strangers? Would they be friendly? They circled each other, warriors at the front of each group. Suddenly they began to fight. Feathers flew, claws kicked, beaks poked. Harsh cries filled the air. Many of the birds were hurt. Finally, the two groups retreated, one to each side of this clearing. Fighting was not working. The chief of my tipuna stepped forward and proudly said, "Ko o te ariki o te takutai nei. I am chief of the Kiwi from up the coast. I have claimed this area." The chief of your Kuia's tipuna stepped forward and proudly said, "Ko o te ariki o ngā pai maunga nei. I am chief of the Kiwi from over the mountains. We want to live here too." The two chiefs stared at each other. Nobody wanted to fight again. The forest was still, silent, waiting and holding its breath. "We are the best food finders in all the land," said my tipuna proudly. "We are the best nest builders in all the land," said your Kuia's tipuna just as proudly. "We do not wish to fight for this land," said my tipuna proudly. "We do not wish to fight either," said your Kuia's tipuna just as proudly. "Perhaps we can work together," said my tipuna proudly. "We can show you how to find more kai." "Yes, perhaps we can work together," said your Kuia's tipuna just as proudly. "We can show you how to build stronger nests." It took many days and nights of talking, but finally both groups of Kiwi agreed on a way to live together in peace. Everyone was relieved. Since then, some of my tipuna went back up the coast. Some of Kuia's tipuna went with them. Some of Kuia's tipuna went back to the mountains. Some of my tipuna went with them. And some Kiwi stayed right here, including the tipuna of your koro and your Kuia. Kuia's tipuna respected the ways of the mana whenua, those already there. Both groups shared their knowledge and learned from each other. Even today, we must remember that it was a difficult time, but we must also remember that as long as we work together, we can move forwards through the days ahead of us. The little Kiwi thought about Koro's story of how the two groups came together so long ago. Then she leapt up. "Ko ngā te takutai rawa, ko ngā te pai maunga o Kuiwi, My ancestors come from up the coast and over the mountains. Ko Little Kiwi toku ingoa. My name is Little Kiwi.